Hey, Tellman.
Yo. So, dude, sometimes it's so interesting. So, you got these successful people, you've got these successful entrepreneurs who've
Yep.
made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then, and they were super successful, very successful, big businesses. They had teams, they had employees, um, whether they had a huge e-com business or a huge coaching business, or it was back in the days of ClickBank and they were crushing on ClickBank with launches, or maybe they had a mega webinar when webinars were like taking the world by storm, and made millions of dollars, and like dramatically improved, inflated might be a word for it, their self-worth, and like I was like, wow, I can really do this. I can really accomplish anything.
Right.
And then the bubble bursts, and um you end up with a bad business partner, or you end up in a bad relationship, or a close family member goes through a health crisis, or you go through a health crisis, or the economy changes and the thing that used to work stops working, and then you go through a down period and you start believing that you suck. And then people, what happens is people want to get back to the glory days, but they can't, and they're stuck in this cycle of inaction, and wanting to do the right thing in order to get back to the level of success that they once had.
Yep. Yep.
But the way that they achieved the level of success that they once had was because they were fully immersed and they were going after it to see what they could pull off, not because they knew what they could pull off, right?
Mm.
Not because they were chasing like a dream. They were like present and there, and learning. And so I've worked with a lot of clients on confidence,
Okay.
and people want to, just one yesterday, people want to develop the confidence that they used to have, and they lost their confidence. But what so many people forget is that the way you develop confidence is by doing the things that you're afraid of,
Right.
and you practice them so much you get great at them, and it becomes a skill instead of a fear, right? And that's how you develop confidence. And there are some mind hacks that you can do to kind of give you a better internal dialogue, and there's a better picture that you can imagine, and you can say better things to yourself, and you can feel it in your body. And at the end of the day, nothing builds confidence like crushing it over and over and over and over again, right?
Right.
And the only way you can crush it over and over and over and over again is by trying, seeing how you do, and then focus on getting better. That's the only
Yep.
way you can do it, right? And
Right.
so confidence comes through practicing doing the things that we fear,
Okay.
right? There's something to remember.
Yeah.
Little
No, I
positive
feel that
focus, little do the things you're afraid of.
every day.
That's right, every day. Cool. Well, it's a bright, beautiful day outside today. The sky it was snowing earlier unexpectedly, but the sky is completely clear. It's been unusually warm, above freezing, all day yesterday and all night. So the back roads are a little bit sloppy. But I'm really looking forward to going on an awesome run a little bit later today. And I'm also looking forward to announcing the beginning of something new with Get Shit Done, which is our new Get Shit Done Sprint. We're going to be talking about the Get Shit Done Sprint today, and how you can get involved with the Get Shit Done Sprint. So if you like getting shit done, if you enjoy the Get Shit Done show, if you've been part of the Get Shit Done community at getshitdone.com, if you've ever listened to the Get Shit Done session, if you watch the videos for the Get Shit Done system, then you're going to absolutely love getting your hands dirty with the Get Shit Done Sprint. And it's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, it's going to be powerful, and it's going to be the most productive 2 months of your year easily, by a long shot, right? Everything's about to change. So very excited to talk about that today.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What are you happy about, Eric?
Went to the gym again this morning, which was awesome. And I noticed, okay, so the first few times we went, I had been inactive for about a month and not working out at all,
Right.
and it was really challenging. And today felt much easier. And yeah, I slept really well, and I yeah just had lots of energy. And yeah, it was a good experience.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Rock and roll. All right. Some good exercise. Man, I was crushing 75 hard every day for months and months and months. And then like
right,
I've exercised once since I stopped 75 hard. So I like,
right,
you know, I
yeah,
tend to, man, when I'm on something, I'm on it full force. And when I'm
yeah.
not, I'm often not on it. And so
I feel that too.
It's cool to be doing the Get Shit Done show every day,
Hmm.
even though I'm not on 75 hard. So that's
Okay,
it's kind
right.
of like it's an interesting shift, right?
Yeah, I bet.
Um, okay, so check it out. This show needs to be short because um, we've both got shit to do today,
Right.
and I have to go pick up my kids from school, even though I just got back from dropping someone off at the airport. So I'm very compressed for time today, and we're launching the um, the Get Shit Done sprint. And so a sprint is cool because um, I learned about sprints when I was discovering more about project management when we had a large teams. You know, after about 20 people on your team that you're paying every week and every month, you know, like minimum salary, you know, like you better hope they're busy doing something, right?
Right.
And hopefully it's something that's making money and growing the business, right? And so one of the ways that we learned how to do this is pretty common knowledge in the corporate world. And if you've been a part of teams, you may have learned about some of these things or read books on project management or any of this kind of stuff. But the idea is a sprint in terms of focusing on accomplishing something very specific in a very specific amount of time, right? And so we're thinking about a longer Get Shit Done boot camp, a full 3 months, 12 weeks, but we decided that we were going to do a Get Shit Done sprint instead to keep it a little bit smaller, bring in more people. It's the first time we've done this, and have it be more affordable for the first one because we were gonna charge a pretty high level price point for the boot camp, and we decided we were going to make this more affordable for people. So the idea here is that each week for 8 weeks, you are not only going to be doing the things that you need to do in order to accomplish your goal, your 8-week goal. Okay. You're going to work on getting something created and launched, getting something significant moved, an initiative moved forward in your business, a funnel built, a coaching program launched, a podcast kicked off, a e-com store started, you know, um, a course and sales letter created and launched on whatever platform of your choice. You know, like all these different things. And there are many other things you could be. Maybe you want to launch your a convenience store. You know, cool. You know, launch a
Right.
convenience store. And so we're going to focus on something that's attainable in 8 weeks, but something that is big and bigger than you might normally go for. So it really is going to be motivating to get you up a little bit early in the morning and to get you working on it in between things during the day and to get you focused on staying up a little bit later at night working on this project to make it happen. You know, pull an all-nighter
Yep.
or two if you have to, even if you're a parent, even if you're working full-time, even if you have a full-time business, even if you're already running ragged. If you want to make something big happen, you got to do something meaningful and not just do something old ho hum, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the Get Shit Done sprint is 8 weeks, and we're building out the structure right now for exactly what it's going to look like. And so I have that structured out on a Google Doc that I shared with you earlier, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you probably haven't had too much time to go through it, or did you?
I skimmed through it. I haven't had a time. I haven't found the time to really give it the proper look that it needs yet.
Right.
Yep.
This definitely is not ready for actual public viewing, and so what I'm going to show you guys anyway. And
Yep.
so I want to give you a disclaimer, which is this is a rough draft, And
Cool.
this is a very AI aided rough draft. So this is not the official offer, but it's pretty close, right, to what we're going to do. So if you're interested in getting involved in our Get Shit Done 8-week sprint, type GSD sprint in the comments and send me and or Eric a direct message saying, I want a link to apply and register for the sprint. Right. Tell us you want. So we're going to, we don't have a clean link because right now it's a Google Doc page and it's still being edited. So full disclosure, right? I'm going to go ahead and click on present. And I'm going to present.
I just want to point out how this is a really good example of how Tellman gets shit done. It's totally not prepared and ready yet, but we're doing it and like just launching it and showing it to you guys before it's even a finished product or anywhere near a finished product. And I really admire that about you, Tellman. This is something that I feel like I'm not there yet as far as I want to get prepared and have it all dialed in. And I know that's also a form of procrastination.
Totally is.
Yep.
Totally is. And so, yeah, it's a good idea to realize that. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on because I thought that, okay, can you guys see? Okay, let me see what's going on in StreamYard here. All right. Okay, here we are. So what if I did this? Ah, okay, great. Okay.
Great.
So this is our current Google Doc for the Get Shit Done 8-week sprint. Transform your procrastination into productivity, take immediate, consistent action, and create massive business momentum. From the desk of Tellman Knutson, certified hypnotherapist, founder of Get Shit Done and the Get Shit Done Show. I like that, how that sounds.
Right.
So, dear action-focused entrepreneur, that seems a little bit like over. It seems like a little AI.
Yeah, I read that and yeah, it was like that doesn't sound like you.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Did you ask it to write in your writing style? Because I know it knows your writing style.
well, it's okay. But
Yep.
I actually I didn't use ChatGPT for this. I used
Oh,
Claude
right.
for this, and Claude
Right. You
doesn't.
did mention that. It
I
doesn't
haven't
know
used
you.
Claude very much. So,
Okay.
dear entrepreneur, you've tried the productivity hacks, you've downloaded the apps, you've read the books, and yet those big needle moving projects that would truly transform your business are still sitting on the to-do list. And what about those daily action items that would build your business every day if only they were done consistently? Every day that passes is another day those game-changing initiatives remain unfinished, costing you revenue, opportunities, and peace of mind. It's not about knowing what to do. It's about doing what you know. That's why I've created something different, something that doesn't just teach you about productivity, but actually ensures you get shit done. So
Nice.
good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bold that. Like, that's a really good statement. So
Yeah, I like that.
introducing the Get Shit Done 8-week sprint. Okay. And Eric, interrupt me if I'm
Okay.
unclear or something seems weird or you don't like the way something's worded. Like,
Okay,
please
sure.
interrupt me.
Yep.
This isn't just another course. It's a comprehensive immersion implementation program where you'll work directly with me and a select group of action-oriented entrepreneurs to make massive progress on your most important business initiatives. Here's what the 8-week sprint includes. And this is where we need to modify some things, but
Okay.
16 high intensity work parties, 2 90-minute sessions per week, where we gather virtually to focus intensely on your most important tasks with zero distractions. Complete Get Shit Done framework and implementation, customized to your specific business challenges. The BHAG clarification and strategic deadline setting. Advanced mindset reprogramming. personalized shit list development, absolute accountability system, which is also community.
Yep.
That has to do with like your accountability buddy and your accountability team.
Yep.
Work party methodology, KPI selection and tracking, and custom action plan creation and integration. Exclusive Overcome Everything weekly coaching club, weekly group hypnosis sessions led by me personally, certified hypnotherapist. Reprogram your subconscious and eliminate productivity blocks. Post hypnosis Q&A to address your specific challenges, and recordings available for continued reinforcement. Full access, the complete goal-getting system, a $997 value. My flagship program for transforming goals into reality. 7 comprehensive modules with action-oriented worksheets. Step-by-step implementation guides for each phase. Success accelerator templates and trackers. Lifetime access to all course materials and updates. So the goal-getting system is a really awesome product that I created a bunch of years ago. It's a video course where I teach people how to set big, awesome, measurable goals that motivate you and motivate others and that are actually achievable. And then it's a series of hypnosis sessions that hypnotizes you to take the actions to achieve that goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really badass.
That does sound awesome.
But to use it, you have to have a goal.
Right.
Like you have to be willing to set one and stop hemming and hawing about it.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So one private hypnosis session with me, which actually should be a $1,000 value. That's
right.
Definitely a personal 60-minute hypnotherapy session with me, custom recorded, tailored to your specific blocks and goals. Breakthrough limiting beliefs that have held you back for years, rapid reprogramming of success patterns directly into your subconscious. All right. Private Get Shit Done community with direct access to me, fellow Sprint members for daily accountability, troubleshooting, and celebration. This is an interesting one. Weekly implementation audits, where we'll personally review your progress and provide strategic guidance. Emergency breakthrough sessions when you need immediate help breaking through a roadblock. I mean, again, this is unedited AI output. And lifetime access to Sprint materials, recordings, in the Get Shit Done community. Any questions or comments so far, Eric?
I mean, my biggest question is, what kind of prompt did you give AI to come up with such a comprehensive structure that's in such great alignment with what you're wanting to create?
I'll tell you at the end.
Okay, sure.
I don't remember, but I can go look.
Okay, yeah.
So who this is for: coaches, consultants, and service providers ready to scale. Online course creators and digital product entrepreneurs. E-commerce store owners looking to expand. Established influencers with too many unfinished projects. Information marketers who need to increase production. Who this is not for: those looking for magic bullet solutions. Entrepreneurs unwilling to commit 3 to 5 hours per week of implementation. I think that number should be higher.
Yeah, much higher. I mean, that's
like
per
7
day.
to 10. 7 to 10 hours per week of implementation, right?
Yeah.
People who make excuses rather than take responsibility, and those who aren't ready to invest in their business growth. The Get Shit Done difference. What separates this sprint from anything else you've tried is simple. We don't just teach, we do. Every sprint session combines direct instruction with immediate implementation. You learn a concept and then you immediately apply it to your business while I'm there to guide you. This isn't about theory, it's about results. And then it makes up a bunch of testimonials that I'm not even going to read because they're not real, but they're good. I mean, no one's been through it. So it's kind of, we haven't created this before. So your investment, let's break down the real value of what you're receiving. 16 high-intensity work parties, $1,600 value. So that's $100 per work party, and it's a 90-minute session. So that's like a very, very real $1,600 worth of value.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Complete get shit done framework, $1,997 value. So $1,997. Overcome Everything Weekly Coaching Club, $2,400 value. The Complete Goal Getting System, $997 value. Private one-on-one hypnosis session, which we said before was $1,000 value.
Yep.
Implementation audits and breakthrough sessions. I don't know if we're actually going to do that or not, but it says $997 value. And lifetime community access, $497 value. Total value, $8,985. However, for this cohort only, your investment is just $997. This is a fraction of what you pay for private coaching and delivers far more value because of the implementation-focused structure of community support. Ironclad guarantee. Participants participate fully in the first 2 weeks of the sprint, attend all the sessions, and complete all of the assignments. If you don't experience a significant breakthrough in your productivity and business momentum, simply let me know and I'll refund your entire investment. I can make this guarantee because I know this works if you do the work. Enrollment is limited. Due to high-touch nature of the program and my commitment to your results, I'm limiting this sprint to just 30 participants. The next sprint begins on date. Haven't decided that yet, but it's going to be in a couple weeks. Ready to get shit done? And then there would be a link to the order form.
Got it.
There's my sign-off to your extraordinary success, Tellman Knudsen. P.S. The entrepreneurs who succeed aren't necessarily the ones with the best ideas or the most knowledge. They're the ones who execute consistently on their most important initiatives. The Get Shit Done sprint gives you the structure, it gives you the accountability and the mindset shifts to become an execution machine. Secure your spot now before all 30 seats are filled. PPS. Remember, you're getting my complete goal-getting system, a $997 value, and a private hypnosis session, a $497 value included with your sprint enrollment. This alone covers your entire investment, making the rest of the program essentially free.
Right. And the hypnosis session is actually $1,000 in value, which is
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that covers your expense right there.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
cool.
it.
That's awesome. One question. So the I forget what you called it, but it was the group coaching session or the weekly coaching session. Is that like a group coaching container or
So
what's that
the
look like?
Overcome Everything Coaching Club is something that I
Yeah, that's
did
what it was.
a few years ago, and it was a huge success. And I can't remember why I ever stopped it.
Okay.
I must have been an idiot, because it was a $300 a month program,
Yep.
and I did it for over 80 weeks, so
Cool.
over a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I had a whole bunch of people enrolled at $300 a month, and it's very simple. These sessions are largely entrepreneurially based because most of the time, only entrepreneurs are going to invest $300 a month in their personal development. That's just kind of the deal. Okay.
Yep.
People who are interested in growing a business, interested in making more money, interested in setting more goals, interested in expanding, growing. Otherwise, why are you going to spend a whole bunch of money on hypnosis sessions to take yourself to the next level? Like, there's no good reason in most cases.
Right.
And if there is, it's like you've joined a weight loss program, or you've joined a program for sleep, or and so I have a lot of money mindset programs. So that the Overcome Everything Coaching Club was an extension of that. And we would get on Zoom every week and we would do a live group hypnosis session in a webinar format that was largely guided, led, and inspired by the requests of the members that attended each week. And so then we do the session live. So we do a positive focus at the beginning, do the session live, and then if there were any Q&A at the end, we'd do Q&A. And then the video would go into the archive, into the library. And so as long as you were a paying member, you had access to the library and you could attend the sessions live if you could make it work with your schedule.
Awesome. So you're going to start it back up.
Yeah. That's the
that's
intention, because it's
Yeah.
just like, create a really good hypnosis session every week that's completely focused on serving my clients. And it's a reasonably priced, very high value program. And there are already over 80 really, really amazing entrepreneurial hypnosis sessions in there that were guided by entrepreneurs who wanted more growth. I think I exploded it. We grew it really fast at the beginning, and then like I got bored with it or something and eventually shut it down. But it was a really good program. And so we're in the process of relaunching that right now, and I figured it'd be a good thing to get some people in for a few months to check it out.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
So there are a few things I want to change and tweak. One of the things that I was thinking about is, we know we have work parties, and work parties really need to be work parties, because anything other than positive focus and getting to work, and then there's no time to work.
There isn't,
right?
I know it. Yep.
And if we make these longer than 90 minutes, people will drop like flies.
Yep.
Okay. And so I'm like, how many work parties do we do a week? Is more than one in any way even reasonable? I don't know. I mean, having one during the day and one in the evening, one during the day on Tuesday and one in the evening on Thursday or something, might accommodate people's schedules so that we could help more people. Or maybe they're both on Tuesday, one in the afternoon and one, or whatever day. Right.
Yeah.
And then in addition to work parties, though, there are a few other things that are really important that we cover in this program. Right. The first is the Get Shit Done framework. And hey, Curtis, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Curtis.
I don't know if you caught the whole Get Shit Done sprint that we're going to do. But we're going to do an 8-week sprint where we're going to get shit done like never before. It's $997 to get involved. And we're going to help you set a really clear goal of something awesome that you believe you can get done in the next 8 weeks, that you need some deadlines, some accountability, some systems, and some structure, and some help in order to make that happen. This could be a home study course you may have gone through in the past. It could be some examples of some things that people like to get done during sprints. So depending on where you're at, it could be launching your first webinar, though I would recommend that you do that way faster than 8 weeks. Okay. I would say you do that in 3 weeks, and then you start doing it. You launch a weekly webinar, right? In 8 weeks, like launch it and then get cooking. It could be that you create and launch your first funnel from scratch. If you're building an automatic client style funnel, Alan Sultanich style, for example, or you're building a low ticket offer a la Onyx Sengal, or one of the other many marketing gurus that are out there that teach different models for selling stuff. Maybe you've bought a course in the past, you spent several $100s to several $1,000s on it, but you never implemented it. You went through some or most of it. Most people stop at about 80% of the way through a course. Most of the people that do courses stop about 80% of the way through, if not sooner. And so you got excited, but then you lost your excitement. You lost your enthusiasm when the shit hit the fan, when the work got hard, when you were confronted with confusion, You're confronted with brain fog, you're confronted with self-doubt, you're confronted with stress, and then the other stressors in your life also stress you out, and you shut down and you stop starting something new, and then you get down on yourself, and then you like fall into your bad behaviors, right? You stop exercising, you start drinking too much, you start eating too much sugar, you start feeling worse and worse about yourself, and then finally you snap and you decide you're going to get yourself out of it, and then you buy another course and the cycle begins
Go
again,
through it again. Yeah.
right? So if
Yep.
that's ever happened to you and you're tired of it and you want to implement one of those systems, courses, or programs that you either know how to do because you've done it in the past, or that you have learned how to do some or mostly from a product or a program in the past, and you want to get it done and launched and make an impact, in 8 weeks, then I can tell you this. Number one, we're going to work together every week in a group environment. Number two, you're going to learn the Get Shit Done framework. You're going to get a Get Shit Done action plan for exactly what you need to do, both on a ongoing daily basis and step by step on a build this thing for the first time basis for each day during that 8 weeks to build it. Okay, so you're going to walk away with a Get Shit Done action plan. We're going to be doing work parties together where we get together as a community and we do the hard work that you would avoid doing, procrastinate on, and not prioritize left to your own devices. How do we know? Because you haven't already done it. That's why we're having this conversation. All right. Number 4 is we're going to do hypnosis. I'm going to do hypnosis, group hypnosis with you to supercharge your skills, your mindset as an entrepreneur, and your belief in yourself, your self-confidence, your confidence in your ability to create the future life, the future business that you want to create, and to paint the right picture in your head, to say the right things to yourself, to be your own best support system by tapping into the limitless power of your subconscious mind, using the incredible power of hypnosis to unlock the doors to absolute maximum productivity. As you go through and you learn the Get Shit Done system, you're not only going to get more shit done in these last 2 months, probably than you've gotten done in the last 10 years in a given period of time, but you're going to shift the way that you think about yourself and shift the way that you act and operate in the world as it relates to your goals, and actually bringing them into fruition and bringing them into reality through eager, excited action. So if you want to start
Love
taking
it.
more
Yeah.
action in the direction of your goals, the Get Shit Done sprint is for you. You're going to get not only some amazing shit done, whatever you decide, but you're also going to learn a new way of operating in your business just to make dramatically faster progress in anything that you do and anything that your team does. So Eric, what do you have for thoughts on all this? I know it was a little bit of a like tell monologue full force for a second there,
Right.
I was getting pretty excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's good. It is exciting. One thing that came to mind, you mentioned earlier about, doing things that make you feel confused. And one thing that I learned about confusion from Fernie Ceballos, who you and I both know,
That's right.
um, what he teaches, which I totally agree with, is that it's really a good thing to feel confused sometimes. You don't want to stay stuck in confusion, but to feel confused is a good indication that you're pushing yourself into new terrain, that you're
Right.
learning new things and moving outside of what you've known. I mean, if you want to achieve something drastically different, like get different results in your life, it takes going through that feeling of confusion, of like not
Every day.
knowing what the fuck you're doing
Every
and
day. Yeah.
doing it anyway. Every
Right.
day, you're
Right.
constantly expanding that. And
Right.
you just don't want to stay stuck in confusion, because
Dude,
then you're not moving.
I want to point out something, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it's 1 in the afternoon, 1:45,
Yep.
and we're doing the Get Shit Done show. This is episode 59,
59.
and we didn't go on at 9 a.m. We didn't even acknowledge the fact that we didn't go on at 9 a.m. We've been going on at 9 a.m. solid, like once or twice, significantly delayed, but not much,
Right.
for 2 months straight.
Yep.
And yet neither of us got like super freaked out about it or stressed out about it, or we just found a way to like,
Make it
um,
happen.
you didn't have a question. I was like, what are we going to talk about? It's like, oh, we could talk about the sprint since we're launching that today anyway.
Yep.
So, and it made a good, good conversation. And it is an exercise in putting it out there. So yeah, guys, Eric, when we do the sprint, what do you think you are going to want to focus on getting done in the 8 weeks?
I know, I was thinking about that. The first thing that came to mind is, okay, so the webinar that I'm currently working on, which is when you asked me what my question was for the day, the one thing that first came to mind was about my webinar, but I feel like we've just been hitting that on like the shows lately. I mean, that's something I'm working on, but um the webinar that I'm creating, it's pretty in depth. I almost wonder if it's too in depth for one webinar. It has like 110 slides, and I mean, it's going to be pretty quick moving. It's not like I'll spend 10 minutes on each slide. It might only be a minute or less on each slide. But what I'm realizing is this is not just a webinar. This is the foundation for a course that I'm going to be creating, and where I dive into each one of these 7 topics is its own module, which could have sub-modules in each one, like lessons within each module. And that's something that I could create and use in a whole variety of different ways moving forward. And that's what I would that's yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind of what's some big project that I could work on during that,
So
creating
what's the
that
project?
course. Creating that course.
Creating a course. Yeah.
Yep.
So two things are going on here. So creating a course is good, but promoting the course is better.
Okay.
And so, cool on creating the course. Build your waiting list for the course
Okay.
before you even make the first video, dude. Maybe the
All right.
welcome video, but do not waste another moment creating
Get a waiting
content
list.
with no audience. Okay, not
Got
really.
it.
Okay,
Yeah, I feel like that's a lesson I keep learning from you is
yeah,
build
yeah.
the plane while you're
That's the
flying
same
it.
thing that you also.
Yep.
So when you're like, hey, so I think my webinar might be too comprehensive. Now you're like, oh, all that time I spent making all those slides. Now I think it's too comprehensive.
I
So
mean, I could make it into 5 different webinars.
yeah,
Yeah,
you could do all sorts of stuff,
I could do all
and
sorts of
you will,
stuff.
and you will.
And I will,
But
right.
don't let that prevent you from focusing 80% of your effort on promoting the ever living bejesus out of your opt-in page and making that opt-in page better every single chance you can.
Got
Okay,
it. Yeah.
like that's your focus,
Cool. Yeah, that's
right?
something that I've seen you do a lot is create these early bird lists where
Yeah, easy, so
you have a
easy.
bunch of people lined up for something that you're working on still that's not ready, and then by the time it's ready you have a bunch of people waiting for it.
And if nobody gives a crap, then it doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter, right?
Unless it's just like something you want to do for yourself, in which case go ahead, do it. But
Yep.
like don't expect
Cool.
it don't expect it to resonate if nobody cares,
Yep.
right? So Eric, I'm going to tell you a story because this
Okay.
came into mind while I was driving yesterday. And I was going to tell it to you, but then I forgot until just now. So this is the story of my first list. Once upon a time, I had built a list called List Crusade.
Right.
And I built it by interviewing 80 of the biggest experts in internet marketing and personal development that I could find who would say yes to me to doing an interview with them. And it looked to me like email marketing was a big part of their strategy, and they were building email lists. And I wanted to learn how to build email lists too. And I didn't have the money to pay anybody, and nobody was really teaching it because it was still pretty early. And so, and I was super young and whatever. And like, I was barely paying the bills as it was. Like if there was a expensive course available, like it seemed out of reach to me. Right. And so I built this list, and I interviewed all these people and I did what they said worked and was working in their business. I examined what they were doing in their business. I read their emails. I read their landing pages. I got on their teleseminars. I listened to their podcasts. All the things, and listened to the interview. And then I would ask them probing questions about how they did the thing that they said was working and stuff. And then I would do it. And then I would even report back in on the strategies that worked. And I never badmouthed people when the strategies didn't work. I only reported it on the good ones.
Yep.
And I started emailing my list every day, sometimes multiple days. And I started having the craziest subject lines in the industry. And I started writing haiku emails. And I started writing all these crazy emails with all these, crazy subject lines. And I really used email as an art form and a place for creative expression. But I was still only beginning this, and I was only making 10 grand a month or so.
Okay.
And I had a team of 7 guys, including myself, all part-time, except me. I was kind of full-time. And we all got paid 10% of whatever we earned.
Yep.
So it was $1,000 a month a piece at the best. And we had 30,000 person list. And we didn't have any of our own products that we were able to sell successfully. We tried selling recordings of the interviews. It didn't work well. And I had tried launching a few products on the internet at that point with kind of like hodgepodge lame-ass sales letters, but it didn't really work for me. I didn't have any mastery over the art of writing a sales letter. And so I was pretty frustrated. And eventually we started selling higher ticket stuff with teleseminars. And our income went literally from $10,000 a month to $100,000 a month. And at some
That's
point
awesome.
in this, by selling high ticket from teleseminars versus low ticket $47 ebooks. And then somewhere in this process, it was a Friday afternoon, but it was before I had really hit pay dirt with the, like, we were starting to do teleseminars, but just starting, because I was going through teleseminar secrets because Alex Mandossian launched it, and I took it for $2,000 for the first time to teach people how to make money with teleseminars, which predates webinars, right? Teleseminars are essentially like early days webinars. And so I had this whole interview series called List Crusade, where I was interviewing people about list building and email marketing, and I was behaving as if, but I was the novice. I wanted to know the answers to the questions. And so I asked them, and I didn't always get the answers that I wanted. And I didn't always get the smartest answers, but I got answers. I asked them good questions and started noticing patterns over time. And all these interviews were getting sent to the email list for free. And then at the end of the interviews, there was a pitch to go buy something.
Okay.
And then once a week, we started doing teleseminars. In the meantime, my whole list is like, Tellman, how do I build an email list? Can't you just teach us? When are you going to come out with an email list building course, Tellman? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm just learning this stuff. I'm just barely figuring it out. I'm barely even, like, I'm not even able to pay my bills with this yet. Right? And then I wrote what's called a top HTML order form on one shopping cart, which is an old school shopping cart. It had an order form on the bottom, and on the top you could put some HTML. So I had to do this in Dreamweaver and then convert it into HTML code and copy and paste the HTML code. And I didn't know much about HTML, so it was like very hard. But it was like a big red headline, big red bold headline, subhead, bunch of bullet points about what they're going to get and what the price is and the guarantee. And it was all text on a white background and then an order form down below. And I came out with my first list on a Friday afternoon for $197. And I was going to deliver it via 3 live teleseminars the following week. And I like made 10 grand before I got home from date night. I launched
Awesome.
this thing, sent an email to the list, and over the course of I made like 25 grand over the weekend in $197 increments.
Hmm.
You know, there's probably no upsell in there. If there was, it probably wasn't well thought through. And my first list was born, and that's one of my best selling products of all time. And it taught people the 9 laws of list building as I made them up at the time, the best I knew how, and taught people how to apply the basic philosophy and principles. Hold on, I have to adjust my light.
Yeah, the sun's right on
Situation.
you.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
coming through the window in a weird way.
Yeah. So
All
this
right.
is like what, year 2000, somewhere in there?
This is probably 2005.
2005. Okay. Yep.
And so the point is that we launched the product with a sales letter, and people bought the product that they knew didn't exist. They knew it was going to be delivered live, and that's what they were buying. And they were also going to get the recordings and transcripts. And we were going to do it next week. And like, if 2 people bought and it wouldn't have been worth doing, then we probably would have canceled it and refunded them.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
not a big deal. And so I really encourage you to promote something first and find a way of delivering on it afterward if enough people care to make
Got
it worth
it.
doing. Okay? And
Yeah.
stop hemming and hawing. Because here's the thing. What you're revealing to me, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is actually very problematic for you, is you, I don't think, are following a script for your webinar. Because it sounds to me like you're adding in educational components. And like in my world, that's like the last thing you ever want to do in a webinar. Like you want to
Okay.
tell them what to do, but not how to do it. Usually in a sales webinar, there's a lot of storytelling, a lot of case studies, a lot of what they're going to get out of using the system and being part of the opportunity, but not a lot of how to go
Tactics.
about doing it, not a lot of
Right.
education. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you can't do educational webinars, but if you're if you're editing your webinar to add educational content, to me, that's a huge red flag, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm not teaching them tactics and how to do the things. I'm giving them a framework of what to do. And if they want to work with me, I can dive into that stuff. If they want to buy my course that I'm going to create or work with
Well,
me.
okay, here's
Yep.
what I'm saying. Whose outline are you following for your webinar? Whose structure?
Whose structure?
Yeah.
There's, yeah, different elements I'm using from different things I've learned. I'm using Tim Sales' pipeline as one of the things I'm talking about. Are you familiar with Tim Sales? He was like a legendary network marketer. Yeah, made just millions and millions of dollars with network marketing. He teaches the pipeline. Um, and yeah, so I'm adding, some basic framework of that. And yeah, just kind of different elements from different things that I've learned over
All
the
right. Well, here's
years.
my recommendation
Yep.
for you.
Okay.
That's not how I would recommend that you build a webinar.
Okay.
Like, you might get lucky, but in my experience, building a webinar like that is you're probably going to get a webinar that doesn't convert, that you put a lot of work into.
Okay.
Now, again, you might get lucky. I came up with a new webinar model with the hypnosis session thing a bunch of years ago, and it works, right? But I also tried a whole bunch of my own freestyle formulas that totally crashed and burned, that were like trying to rework the formulas and didn't work. And so, my recommendation is that you look at a webinar that converts as a absolute gourmet dish. Okay. A webinar that converts is like the most amazing plate of food that you've had in your entire life. It's made by a pro. It's just like
Yep.
mind blowing how like it's just leagues above everything else. That's what you're going for. And so the problem is that if you're just tossing in a little bit of this and you're tossing in a little bit of that, you're not going to get something that converts like, ah. So what I have found, my belief is that I like to choose a recipe and follow it to the letter, see how it does, and then add my special sauce to it to make it better. And
Got it.
so I would recommend that you do something like following. If there is a Kangen webinar that you know crushes it with absolute
Yeah.
certainty,
Right. So there's
that's one to follow.
right. There's the one you sent me the other day, yesterday, I think, and or a couple days ago. That one I know converts.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's just something I found. Maybe it does. Yeah, I mean, do you know firsthand that it converts? You know, maybe you do. I don't
Right.
know.
Well, I know that the woman that created it is absolutely crushing it. I don't know if, I mean, I would
That
imagine
doesn't mean that webinar converts.
that's a good point, right?
I mean,
It
the way you crush it is by
maybe not.
getting hundreds of things that don't convert and finding a couple that do.
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
So don't be confused by like just because somebody seems like they're really successful, that doesn't mean most of their marketing works.
Got it.
Right? I mean,
Yep.
some of their marketing works.
Yeah.
But even when you're modeling someone else, you still don't have the full spectrum of the formula. So it's nice to learn it from someone who's teaching it. So Brunson has the perfect webinar formula,
Right.
and it's a course. And if you don't have access to it, I told you I think I could get you access to it. I
Oh,
didn't even look
cool.
for it.
Okay. Yep.
But it's something he used to sell anyway. And I assumed that he would have taught in that course that you took, but maybe he didn't. But following like a really strict formula, like it's a recipe for a gourmet dish,
Okay.
is what I would recommend that you do. Otherwise, there's so much stuff that should work that doesn't. There's so much stuff that you like really. I don't know. I've been let down by people so many times when I put my heart and soul into the stuff, and then like nobody gives a, just nobody cares. And that still happens, but it's like there are definitely formulas for doing presentations that people naturally tend to resonate with the flow of in certain ways
Got
better,
it. Yeah.
unquestionably.
Yeah. No, I feel that. What I'm realizing and my intuition tells me about the webinar slides that I've been creating is for a webinar to bring people into, educate them about the business model that I'm working with and that kind of thing. It might be just too much. I feel like the slides that I'm making now is great. It's not a waste of time at all. I think it's really great for people that do join my team that are then looking for the framework of how to crush it with
Right.
this business model. And that's where, I can take it with it. That's what, yeah, I feel like I'm really glad that I'm putting the work into this, but I don't know that it's the perfect webinar. I think it's a
Yeah.
great foundation for a course that I'm starting to create.
There
And
are
I didn't
some
even
other
realize
things.
I was creating it.
Right. Yeah. There are other cool things that you can do with that kind of stuff. Right. Which
Yep.
is you can create master classes instead of
Yep.
if you consider a webinar a sales webinar, you can create a master class. And so like you can create a half day
Exactly.
workshop where
Yep.
you teach the whole model,
Totally. Yeah, I feel
and
that.
that's something you can charge for,
Right.
depending
Absolutely.
on, if it's applicable or if it isn't outside of just your opportunity.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff I'm teaching in this is like applicable to pretty much anything. I mean, a lot of it's specific to network marketing, but then some of it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So cool, man. So basically, where does that leave us? Where does that leave us? I guess that leaves us with we're going to do a get shit done sprint. And
Yep.
if you guys haven't already joined Get Shit Done, then get your hiney on over to getshitdone.com and join the cult. Join the Get Shit Done the Get Shit Done productivity cult for entrepreneurs. And we would love to see you in there. We get shit done together each and every day. And we are going to do a Get Shit Done 8-week sprint. If you want to get involved in our sprint, it's going to be $1,000. It's going to be a single payment of $997. And I will send you to the order form. If you reach out in the comments and send Eric or I, whoever, whatever channel you're watching this on, send us a direct message, and we'll send you the link that you need in order to get involved. We're going to be getting started in the next 2 weeks. So that's the name of the game. Eric, you have a webinar coming up next week.
I do.
And there's a link down in the PS.
There is. Yeah, there's a link down in the PS of the description of this video where you can register for my upcoming webinar, which is going to be on Tuesday, March 4th. And I'm going to be sharing the basic framework of how you can create a successful online business. And if that's something that sounds interesting to you, if you're sick of working for other people and want to create more freedom and flexibility to work on your own time flow in your own work environment, work from home, spend more time with your family, and spend more time doing the things that matter to you, and quit working for other people, check it out. And yeah, click on the link in the description of this video and get registered, and I'll see you on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Cool. Eric, I'm going to ask you a question. Check this out.
Yep.
In your experience with network marketing.
Yep.
If I wanted to start attracting my perfect prospects so I could build an amazing team and an amazing downline.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to start attracting perfect prospects so I can build an amazing team and an amazing downline, how do I do that? What are some of the things that I need to do in order to make that happen?
That's what we're going to be talking about in the webinar. But yeah, the first and foremost, you need to know who you're talking to and who your audience is and what are you helping them with.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, then you need to get lead generation in place. And to do that, you have to go back to step 1 of who are you talking to and what are you helping them with. If you can get that right, then lead generation becomes easier. Step 3 is closing sales. If you got step 1 and step 2 figured out, step 3 is so much easier. And if you've got that figured out, then the duplication piece becomes vastly easier. And duplication is basically teaching your team how to do steps 1, 2, and 3 so that they can do it with you and your team grows and thrives.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, everyone, if you want to learn more about how to attract an amazing team and to get tons of perfect prospects, go join Eric's webinar. The link's in the PS. The day is pressing on. Ain't getting any younger, as they say.
It's that time, Tellman. You know what time it is?
It's time to get shit done.
That's right. It's time to get shit done.
All right. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate your flexibility today.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.